Hot? I guarantee you it is not hot in this studio right now. Oh, you mean live? Live, I'm live. Sweet. Hey, everybody. Welcome to Saturday morning at Common Bond. So happy you guys are all here. The studio is a big part of the community here for me in Springfield, so just the fact that Ben is keeping the studio open here and doing these live streams and allowing me to come in on Saturday mornings and teach class. He actually probably doesn't know here. He probably doesn't know that I've been here since like 8 a.m. too. But yeah, no, this is a huge part of it, and you're all a huge part of it here. So thank you all so much for being here, and thank you, Ben, for providing us with this space here. You know, there he is, our sound guy. Is that a gaffer? I don't know. He's our sound guy and our everything guy. So. Just a couple of things. Don't forget to support us on patreon.com. So that's patreon.com/commonbondyoga. Common Bond, not Common Bond Yoga, just straight up Common Bond. Consider supporting the studio. It's like $11 a month. You get stickers, and if we get like 2 more people to sign up, Ben will jump in the river. I think we should get him to jump in the McKenzie because it's colder. So we'll see. So, but, you know, 2 more people, $22 is all we need to get Ben to jump into a river. What else this morning? We've got music by DJ Soul Rising, which is great because last week it was pretty quiet in here. So thank you so much, DJ Soul Rising, for letting us use your tunes. I'm super excited. And what else we got going on? Oh yeah, local business, right? Like all these restaurants in downtown Springfield are doing takeout. So get some takeout, right? Like we don't need to be worried about the food. We don't need to be worried about the containers, but we do need to be worried about supporting our community and those that work in our community. So if you have the means and you have the ability to go out and get a Reuben from the Public House or a burger from Planktown or something, just do it sometime this weekend maybe. Just get some fries to go, you know, just support the folks that are out there still working, still having to go out into our community. This morning, props. I always recommend you have a couple of blocks. Now, I realize you're all at home, so you might not have blocks. So, you know, things like books or, you know, metal water bottles can be a great prop to use as well, as could just, you know, like stools or whatever you happen to have in the house. I'm sitting up on a blanket because I'd like to raise my hips up above my knees just a little bit while I'm sitting. So if you'd like to sit up on a blanket, do that. Straps are always good as well, right? So like if you have any issues getting down to your toes or anything like that, you could use a strap. And if you don't have a yoga strap at home, you could always use like a moving strap or a belt or the belt from your robe or even just a towel. You know, something just to make your arms just a little bit longer if you need. Yeah, all right. Ben's still giving me the thumbs. That's like the 5th thumbs up that Ben's giving me this morning, but you know, it's all good. So I think that we'll just kind of maybe start in a comfortable place this morning. What I want to do is just come into our breath for a few minutes. And I don't know about you all, but my body is tired. We've got so much going on and there's so much stress in the world right now that I'm totally feeling that in my body. We're good. So, you know, maybe we're just gonna give ourselves a couple of moments to just kind of chill out a little bit, you know, and then we'll get into a practice. I've got a super secret special thing during the practice today. Let's see if you notice it. Let's see if I remember to do it or not do it. But yeah, just find a comfortable place to get started today. That could be in a seat, could be on your back, could be in a chair, whatever's gonna be good for you today. And as you start to come to that spot, right, just give yourself a moment to move around a little bit in the body. Whether you're laying down on your back or you're sitting up, you know, just allow the body to move a little bit. Move around in the shoulders, maybe rolling the shoulders up by the ears one at a time and letting them roll back into the back body if you're seated. If you're laying down, stretch those legs out in front of you. Let the body get nice and long. Just give yourself this moment here to just kind of start to arrive where you are today. And where you are today is totally perfect, right? We don't have to be in any specific place at any specific time. We're just here right now, and we're practicing. And here comes a dog named Pig. And just start to allow the attention, wherever you're at, to float towards your breath. starting to notice how the inhales and the exhales are moving in and out of the body. Just taking note of how the breath is moving, without any judgment. Also allow yourself to be aware of the sensations that come along with the breath. You know, the feeling of the chest rising on the inhale as we expand. And then that feel of constriction on the exhale as the lungs empty, the chest drops. Notice things like the feeling of the clothes hanging on your body, the feeling of the connection points of the legs and the bum, or whatever, however you're connected to the ground. Just start to feel how the body is touching the ground. If your eyes are not closed already, maybe bring the eyes gently shut and then just start to notice the sensation of the eyelids touching. That little bit of space where the upper eyelid and the lower eyelid come together. Feeling of the breath moving in and out of the nose. What sounds can you hear today? Maybe we can start with some of those sounds that are a little bit further away from us, you know, those that are outside of our homes, outside of the room that you're in. We don't need to try to identify these sounds or anything like that. Just allow yourself to be aware that you're able to hear these sounds. Maybe bringing that awareness a little bit closer to you, moving towards those sounds that only you can hear. Those that are within the room that you're in. Maybe those that are just coming from your mat, the sound of your breath. Now what about your thoughts? We've all got them, they don't stop. Just be aware that those thoughts are still there. We don't need to let those thoughts take us away. But just be aware and witness that those thoughts are happening. And just for another moment here, I'd like you to bring your attention to that part of you that was able to be aware that your breath was moving, that was able to feel the sensation in the body. That part of you that is able to hear sound and identify sound. Or that part of you that is able to witness that you have thoughts that are running through your mind. And then maybe we can start to just separate that part of ourselves that's able to recognize and be aware of all of these things from all of those things. And we realize that all of those things just happen. That part of ourselves that's able to be aware of those things, no effort at all. They just happen. And we are separate from all of this. So maybe as we practice today, that's the place that we can practice from. This awareness of self, this awareness of what's going on in our minds, with our breath, with our sensation, and with our bodies in general. Listen to your body. Have the practice that you need today. And if you're on your back, take all the time in the world Well, let's start to come up and find a comfortable seated position. And you could sit up on a block or a blanket or just on a pillow or right on the ground, just whatever's good for you. And what I'd like you to do is take the right leg and either put the right leg on top of the left or just out there in front, just whatever's a good seat for you. Roll those shoulders back up by the ears. Let the shoulders just start to sink away from the ears. Bring the hands to where they're just in a comfortable position. Pull the crown of the head back so the crown of the head is up over the tailbone. Find a little bit of engagement in the lower belly, just that space in between the belly button and the top of the pelvis. You might notice that you just start to get a little bit taller when you do that. It's great. Find a little bit of engagement in the root as well, just by engaging the pelvic floor ever so slightly. Just feel how much stronger that makes your seat. And let's let the arms get nice and long. Just let the tips of the fingers just kind of rest on the mat, but keep some engagement in the shoulders, right? We're not hunching down on the ground. We want to keep that nice tall spine. Moving with the breath. After an exhale, just take an inhale and we'll sweep the arms out to the sides and we'll bring them up overhead. Once they get up there, take the exhale and just let the shoulders drip away from the ears. Let that exhale right there be full and complete. Inhale, reach the fingers up. On the exhale, turn the palms out and let the palms start to come down towards the ground. Keep the arms as long as possible. Yoga shorthand. Keep the arms going. Inhale. When you're ready, bring the arms back up, reaching the fingertips up towards the ground. Let the shoulders drop away on an exhale. On an inhale, maybe the chest lifts, maybe the gaze comes up towards the ceiling a little bit. And on the exhale, just turn the palms back out and bring them down towards the ground and let a whole exhale get you there. Take your time, there's no rush here. Again, we'll take an inhale, we'll sweep the arms up overhead, and on the exhale, let those shoulders sink away from the ears. Inhale, let's lift the chest as we turn the palms forward, and on the exhale, just start to fold over these crossed legs, bringing the hands down towards the ground. Decide how far you want to go here, right? If you want, you can stay right here, just relax the neck, let the chin come in towards the chest, close the eyes, take a couple breaths. If you want to go any further, maybe take an inhale, give a little tug, and on the exhale, start to bend the elbows. Let the elbows and the forearms come down towards the ground. Keep the neck relaxed. Let the chin come in towards the chest. Just hang out right here and take a couple of breaths, or if you do want to go any further, we can walk the hands all the way out in front of us, and on the exhale, bring the chest down towards the ground and the forehead down towards the mat, or it could always rest on a block or a pillow, of course, if you want to bring that floor a little bit closer to you. And here in this place, we're just going to take a couple of breaths. Nice, deep, long, full inhales and exhales. Find your rhythm of the breath. Try to find a balance in the breath, right? So the inhales and the exhales are of about equal length, but don't get caught up in counting them either. Breathing in and out through the nose. Balance. Smooth breath. Easy stuff here. And what we'll do is, after an exhale, you can take an inhale, start to come back up. Reach the crown of the head forward on that inhale, and on the exhale, let's just walk the hands over towards the left side, walking the right fingertips over towards the left wall, letting the torso come down over the left thigh, or towards the left thigh. It doesn't have to touch or get anywhere near it. Take an inhale, maybe walk those right fingertips over towards the left wall a little bit more, finding a nice extension on the right side body. And on an exhale, again, just relax. Let the chin come in towards the chest, the forehead can go towards the knee, the chest towards the thigh. But what's most important here is your breath. Stay with it. an inhale, when you're ready, you can start to come up just a little. And on the exhale, you can walk the hands back towards center, and then allow an exhale to just fold forward to wherever is comfortable for you. Let that exhale right there be full. And on the inhale, just start to walk the hands back towards the body as you come up towards seated. Bringing the crown of the head back over the tailbone. Give yourself the exhale. When you're ready to take the inhale, bring the arms up overhead. And again, on the exhale, just let the shoulders sink away from the ears. We'll take a little twist here. So let's just take an inhale, reach the fingers up, and on the exhale, bring the left hand over to the right knee and the right hand behind you. And that right hand is for support. So wherever that feels good is where it goes. You do, of course, have options here in this twist. If you feel nice and stable, you could take that right arm and wrap it around the back of the body, maybe find the top of the left thigh, or perhaps the right big toe, just depending on where you're seated. Your body. Doesn't matter how far you can go. Wherever you're at, maybe take an inhale, and on the exhale, let's just bring the gaze over the left shoulder, just getting a little counter twist to the neck. Close the eyes and take a couple of breaths here. Finding that nice, balanced, smooth inhale and exhale. If you've got that right arm wrapped around the body, you're holding onto the thigh, you're holding onto the foot, take an inhale, and on an exhale, just let go. Bring that hand back down towards the ground. Hold that twist through the exhale, and then we'll take the inhale. We'll reach the arms up overhead. And on the exhale, we can just let those hands sweep back down towards the ground. Give yourself the exhale there. And then on the inhale, we're just gonna straighten out this right leg. Feel free to straighten out both legs if you want. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna bring the sole of the left foot right on the inside of the right thigh. Reach that right foot forward, flex the toes up towards the knee, but feel free to keep as much of a bend in this knee as you need, and feel free to stay seated up on a blanket or a block. Let's just take a simple forward fold here. At first, we're just gonna take the inhale, reach the arms up overhead, and then on the exhale, just kind of reach down towards the foot. You can also just reach down for the ankle or the calf, or this is where you could use a strap or a sock or a belt. Whatever you've got at home, you could totally use here. Take the inhale, kind of reach forward with the chest. Let the gaze be right out there in front of you. And then on the exhale, when you're ready, we can just kind of start to relax here, letting the chin come in towards the chest for a couple of breaths. Keep flexing the toes on the right foot up towards that right knee. And again, feel free to keep as much of a bend in the right knee as you need. Breathe. Now let's bring the right hand. So it's maybe the peace fingers wrap around the big toe, maybe the right hand's on a strap, or maybe you're just holding on to the calf. But find a good hold. Give yourself an exhale, and on the inhale, reach the left arm out and back, just kind of twisting open here. Give an inhale, take the exhale, let that left arm sweep nice and long down towards the right foot. Take your full exhale there, and then on the inhale, let's come back up. Reach the arms up overhead and then twist towards this space that we've created here, right? And on the exhale, just kind of fold forward into that. Keeping the toes flexed on the right toes. Well, those toes are on the foot, yeah. And you know, it doesn't matter how far you can fold here. Close the eyes, let the chin come in towards your chest, and take a few breaths. Now that engagement in the lower belly and that engagement in the pelvic floor that we talked about a little bit ago, if you've lost that, go ahead and find that again. Take your exhale, and with an inhale, come back up towards seated, and then on twist, facing the foot, bring the hands down towards the ground. So we'll now bend the right knee, coming towards Supta Baddha Konasana as an extension here. So bring the soles of the feet together, and of course, the closer the heels are to the groin, like the more opening you're gonna feel. So find a place that's comfortable for you. It doesn't matter how big that diamond needs to be. Interlace the fingers. Bring them right over the toes, kind of like they're a little hat. And with an inhale, sit up nice and tall, even rolling those shoulders up by the ears and then just letting the shoulders sink away. Reach up with the crown of the head. Keep that engagement in the pelvic floor and that engagement in the lower belly. And then with an exhale, just slightly tuck the chin down in towards the chest. Just finding a little bit of extension up the back of the neck. That's what that body part is back there, a neck. Nice, long, full inhales and exhales, finding your rhythm, your balance. Make sure that those inhales and exhales are nice and smooth. And at this point, if you're finding that you're holding the breath in at the top of the inhale, or retaining the breath out at the bottom of the exhale, in your time, maybe we can just start to close those gaps. So we're finding a breath that's not only balanced and smooth, but it's continuous, just letting the inhales and the exhales flow into each other. And we will continue to link those movements with our breath. Take your inhale. The exhale, maybe we can just let those hands go. Now we're gonna recross the legs. So this time we'll take the left leg on top of the right or out there in front of the right. And take note of the body. Maybe the rights and lefts are different. So find the place that's comfortable for you to sit. And when you're ready with the inhale, bring those arms nice and long. Let the tips of the middle fingers just barely touch the ground. Take a full exhale there. And then with the inhale, sweep the arms out to the sides, bring them up overhead. And on the exhale, let those shoulders drop away. Inhale, lift the chest. Maybe the gaze comes up towards the ceiling. Exhale, turn the palms out and bring them back down towards the ground. Inhaling as you're ready, sweeping the arms out to the sides. Maybe the gaze comes up a little bit more as the back starts to loosen up. On the exhale, just bring the hands back down towards the ground. Letting the arms be nice and long both ways. Full exhale, and then inhale, let's bring the arms up. Exhale, let the shoulders drop. Inhale, reach the fingers up as you turn the palms forward, and on the exhale, start to fold over those legs, just revisiting that cross leg forward fold, noticing the difference in the sensation in the different parts of the body. Inhale, reach forward with the crown of the head, and then on the exhale, decide how far you want to go. Maybe the elbows and the forearms come down towards the ground. Maybe they don't. Maybe you take the inhale and reach the arms all the way out in front of you, and on the exhale, maybe the forehead comes down all the way towards the ground. Maybe it doesn't. Just follow the breath. Be aware of the breath and the sensation that comes along with the breath in this place right here, right now. And then like we did on the other side, on an inhale, we'll come part way up. And this time on the exhale, walk the hands over towards the right side, reaching the left fingertips over towards the right wall, allowing yourself a breath or two. And as you start to loosen up, if your body does loosen up at all, mine doesn't seem to be today, maybe we have just a few more inches that we can walk those fingers into. Wherever you're at, just let the neck relax. Let the chin come in towards the chest. Close the eyes. Let the forehead start to fall towards the knees as the chest starts to come down towards the thigh. Just take a few breaths right here. In and out through the nose. And with the inhale, we can come part way up, and with your exhale, walk the hands back towards center. On the exhale, just allow the body to fold forward completely. Complete total exhale right there. And then when you're ready on the inhale, walk the hands back towards the body. Sit up nice and tall. Let the exhale come down as you roll the shoulders back into the back body. The inhale, when you're ready, sweep the arms out to the sides and up overhead. And on the exhale, we're just gonna take that twist on this side. So this time, right hand, left knee, left hand behind you. Adjust the body. Find length in the spine as you take the inhale. And maybe on the exhale, we can bend the right elbow as we twist just a little bit further to the left. Exhaling completely. And again, we have options with this left hand, right? If you feel stable here and you'd like to wrap the arm all the way around the body, you can do so, maybe finding the top of the left, no, that's the right thigh this time, or maybe the left big toes. You can take that inhale, sit up nice and tall, and maybe on the exhale, bring the gaze over that right shoulder. Make sure the shoulders are dripping away from the ears. Just take some breath here. Remember, wherever you're at is perfect. No matter how far you do or do not go in any asana or posture, you're doing what's right for your body. It's perfect. If you've got that left arm wrapped around the body, take the inhale, and on the exhale, just let it go. Let that arm come back down towards the ground. Give yourself the exhale there. We'll take that inhale on twist, bringing the arms up. And then on the exhale, bring those hands back down by the sides. And now this time, we're gonna straighten out our left leg. Bringing the sole of the right foot on the inside of the left thigh, flexing the toes on the left. And taking that bend as much as you need in the left knee and using straps or anything you need to get closer to that foot. Inhale, when you're ready, reach the arms up overhead, and on the exhale, we're just gonna fold forward, trying to keep the biceps by the ears as you fold, and then just let the hands come down to wherever is comfortable. Maybe that's the foot, maybe it's the ankle, maybe you're using a strap. Before you settle in, take an inhale, come up a little bit, reach forward with the collarbones, bring the gaze forward, let the shoulders drip away from the ears, and on the exhale, fold a little bit more, and then let the chin come in towards the chest and the forehead towards the knee. We'll take that open twist here on this side. So maybe we take the left peace fingers, wrap them around that left big toe, or find whatever connection to the foot or the leg is best for you. Take the exhale, and on an inhale, reach the right hand back behind you, maybe even letting the gaze follow it. Keeping an eye on the thumb there, and on the exhale, just let the shoulders relax, let the chest relax, and take a couple of breaths here. Inhaling, exhaling, sweep that right hand back down towards the foot. Let that exhale there be full and complete. Tighten up that belly and the root and the pelvic floor. Take the inhale as you reach the fingers forward, coming up towards seated. Turn towards that open space. The exhale, bring the hands down. And just take a couple of breaths right here. Exhaling. When you're ready to inhale, reach the fingers forward, bring them up overhead. And on the exhale, on twist, let's straighten out the right leg, bringing the right foot down towards the left. The hands can stay up in the air if that's available for you. Take your inhale. On the exhale, turn the palms forward, and let's just find Paschimottanasana, stretching towards the west. The greatest things about doing Paschimottanasana is it allows us to get the breath into the back body, right? So feel the sensation here of the back of the rib cage expanding on inhale and exhale as opposed to the chest. Of course, the chest expands a little bit too, but where we're at here, we can really start to bring the breath into the back body. So just notice that sensation. Take an inhale here. In your time on the exhale, if the hands are on the feet, just let them come down towards the mat. Full exhale. Inhale, just drag the fingers along the ground as you come up towards seated. If you've got a block or a pillow or something on the mat, maybe just move that out of the way. Let's bend the knees over to the right or the left side. We're just going to come into like a tabletop pose here. So as you get ready for this tabletop pose, start with the hands, right? And let's get those fingers spread out nice and wide. So on the right hand set the pinky down, then the ring finger, then the middle finger, then the pointer, and then the thumb. And then do the same thing on the left, right? Just get the fingers spread out nice and wide here. Start to bring the weight down onto the thumb side of the hands, not the pinky side. Work the knees back so they're kind of like right underneath our hips. Untuck the toes, push the tops of the feet into the mat, and when you're ready to take an inhale, lift the chest, bring the gaze forward as the tailbone comes up, finding a cow belly here. And then on the exhale, push into the hands as you round the back up towards the ceiling. Complete full exhale. And then with your breath, we'll just take some cat-cows here. Inhaling as the chest lifts. Make sure that those shoulders come away from the ears as the tailbone lifts. And then on the exhale, round the back, pushing into the hands, reaching the back up towards the ceiling. Full exhale. Inhale through that tabletop. Find your cow belly. And just take some breath here. And of course, if there's any additional movement, if there's anything else that would feel good in your body, go for it. Even if it feels a little silly, right? I mean, you're at home. Not that it matters in a studio, but allow yourself to really be free when you're practicing these live stream classes. Maybe after your next exhale, let's take an inhale and just find a neutral spine, setting yourself up for your tabletop pose. Starting on the right side, we'll take an exhale, and then on the inhale, reach the right arm out and up overhead. And then on the exhale, just bring that hand straight back down onto the mat. Boom, full exhale. Inhale, reach the arm out to the side, up overhead. Exhale, straight back down towards the mat. This time we'll take that inhale, reach the arms out, arm, not both, just one. Reaching those right fingertips up towards the wall, and then on the exhale, let's thread our needle. Let's bring the right hand behind the left here, walking the left fingertip, those are right fingertips, over towards the left wall, and come down onto the shoulder. You can set the side of the head down, but we don't want to put any weight on the head. We'll take a few breaths here. You can stay right here. Of course, we have options. You can take the left fingertips and walk them forward, finding a little bit of extension along the left side body, up into the armpit and the shoulder. If you'd like to, you could of course bring that left arm straight up, reaching those fingertips up towards the ceiling, and this is where you really want to make sure that you've got the weight on the shoulder and not the head. Exhale. If you want to go further still, you could take that left arm and wrap it bound behind the body, find the top of the left thigh. Exhale. Take a few breaths. You've got that left arm, so it's wrapped around the body. Take an exhale. And then with an inhale, you can start to bring that left arm back up, reaching the fingertips up towards the sky. And then on the exhale, we can bring the hand right down towards the ground. Full exhale here, and then on the inhale, push into the left hand as you unthread the needle, bringing the right fingertips back up overhead. Exhale, straight down with the arm. Boom. Reset yourself, adjust the body. When you're ready, inhale, left arm out to the side and up overhead. Exhale, your arm comes straight back down. Inhale, reach the arms out, up overhead. Exhale, back down towards the mat. Okay, here's where we thread the needle, so take the inhale. Come on, pig, thread the needle. Exhale, bring the left hand behind the right as you start to walk the left fingertips over towards the right, again coming down onto the shoulder, and then maybe letting the side of the head rest. Full exhale right there. You could certainly walk the right fingertips forward. And that's great. That's a great place to be right there. There's really no need to go any further. Notice that sensation. But if you need more, of course, with the inhale, you could reach the right arm up overhead. Maybe on the exhale, we wrap the right arm around behind the body, find the top of the left thigh. Take a couple of breaths here. Wherever you're at is perfect. Just breathe. Take the inhale, a complete exhale, of course. And if you've got that right arm wrapped around the body, in your time, take the inhale, unbind that. Bring the right fingertips back up towards the ceiling. The exhale will bring the hand down towards the ground. Again, letting the fingers be spread nice and wide. Push into that hand as you take the inhale, on-thread the needle, bringing the arms up overhead. And on the exhale, the hand comes back down towards the mat. Just give yourself a couple of cat-cows right here. Inhale, lift the chest, lift the tailbone, bring that gaze forward. Exhale, push into the hands as you round the back. Let's tuck the toes as you take an inhale, come back and find the neutral spine. Give yourself an exhale. On the inhale, push into the hands, start to bring the hips towards the heels, floating the knees off the mat, and with the exhale, let's straighten the legs, coming towards downward facing dog. Take your time to get there. Feel free to walk the legs out a little bit if you'd like to, but do so with the breath. Even these kinds of movements link with the breath. In your time, on an inhale, we're just going to come forward towards a plank pose. On the exhale, let the knees come down towards the mat, untuck the toes, and then bring the whole belly down towards the ground, the whole body down towards the ground. Bring the hands underneath the shoulders, bring the feet together, bring the elbows in towards the ribs. Take an exhale. We'll just do a back bend here for a couple of moments. So take an inhale when you're ready. Let's lift the chest. Bringing the chest forward, bringing the gaze forward. Coming into Bhujangasana, or Cobra pose, low Cobra here, right? So what we really want to try to do is keep the floating rib and the upper belly connected to the ground. And on the inhale, notice that sensation of the belly pushing into the ground as the body fills with air. And then on the exhale, feel that release. If you want more, maybe try lifting the feet up off the ground, just coming into this locust variation. And of course, if you want more still, you could always float the arms right up off of the mat. You can bring them back behind you, out to the sides, or forward. Just breathe. In and out through the nose. And if you have the arms anywhere else, take an inhale, bring the hands back down towards the ground, and let your exhale be full and complete. If you've lifted the legs, take the inhale. The exhale, let the feet come back down towards the ground. One more inhale, feel that belly push into the ground. Exhale, lower the body all the way to the mat. Inhale, push into the hands, bring the hips back towards the heels for child's pose. Just take a couple of breaths here. Good job, pig. Now from that child's pose, when you're ready, take an inhale, come back towards the tabletop. Tuck the toes, give yourself the full exhale there. Inhale, push into the hands as you start to bring the hips back towards the heels, floating the knees up off of the mat. And on the exhale, downward facing dog. Breathe in and out through the nose. Then from this downward facing dog, we'll take an inhale, bring the gaze up towards the front of the mat, step forward. And on the exhale, fold and just let the knees bend. Bring a block or your water bottle or a book out there in front of you and take an exhale. Maybe bring the hands onto that block, straighten the legs, and hold that through an exhale. Bring the left hand onto the block, and on the inhale, bring the right arm up overhead as you bend the left knee. The right leg is straight, reaching the right fingertips up towards the sky. Exhale when you're ready. Sweep that hand back down, put it on the block or the water bottle, bend the right knee, bring the left arm up overhead. That's the inhale. Exhale, hand down. Inhale, opposite knee bends, opposite arm lifts. Exhale back down and just take a couple of breaths just like that. Follow your breath, close the eyes. Move with the breath. That is Vinyasa Yoga. It does not have to be hard. It does not have to be hot. It does not have to be intense. Vinyasa is moving with the breath, nothing more. One more time each side. This exhale, just fold forward. Bring a little bend in the knee, push down through the feet. Keep that engagement in the lower belly and in the pelvic floor. Take your exhale. On an inhale, we'll come halfway up. We'll find Ardha Uttanasana, the half forward fold. Just bring the hands under the shins for this first time around. Reach forward with the crown of the head. Pull the shoulders back. Take a few breaths right here. Inhale. Exhale, fold, bring a little bend in the knees. And then let the arms be heavy. Let the hands be heavy as the arms just hang. And when you're ready to come to standing, just push down through the feet, let the arms hang as you do. Come up like you're a rag doll. As the legs straighten, start to let the back straighten, bring the shoulders up by the ears, roll the shoulders back into the back body, let the arms get nice and long, let the palms come forward. Find mountain pose, Tadasana. Maybe the feet are about hips distance apart. You know, you could go old school with it and have the big toes touch. Just kick the heels out. Wherever you're at, make sure that the outsides of the foot are kind of lined up with the outside of the mat. The arms again get nice and long. On the inhale, we'll take our arms out to the sides and we'll take them up overhead. And then on the exhale, we'll fold forward. Coming down whichever way you want. You know, if you want to do a reverse swan dive or swan dive, go for it. After that exhale, take the inhale, come halfway up, Ardha Uttanasana. Your breath, your exhale comes back to Uttanasana. Little bend in the knees, and maybe this time with that engagement in the pelvic floor and the root, we can sweep the arms out to the side like a reverse swan dive, bring them all the way up overhead. Maybe the chest lifts at the very, very top. On the exhale, dive back to Uttanasana. Inhale, halfway up, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, fold forward back to Uttanasana. Inhale, sweep the arms up. Interlace the fingers, all except for the pointer fingers and the thumbs. Reach the fingers up on an inhale. On the exhale, dip over towards the right side. Inhale, back to center. Exhale, dive, Uttanasana. Ardha Uttanasana on the inhale, floating with the breath. Just as the breath is circular, let the movements be circular. Flow right back into that. Exhale, Uttanasana. Inhale, sweep the arms out to the sides. Bring them up overhead. Interlace the fingers except for the pointer fingers and the thumbs. And on the exhale, dip over towards the left. Inhale back to center. Exhale, Uttanasana. Halfway on the inhale. Exhale, fold, Uttanasana. Inhale, reach the arms out to the sides, bring them up overhead. Urdhva Hastasana, saluting the sun, reaching the chest up, maybe even bringing the gaze up. On the exhale, let the hands come down, bring the hands behind you, interlacing the fingers. Take the inhale, let the arms get nice and long. Open up the front of the chest as you pull the tailbone down towards the heels. Bring the gaze up. Little back bend there in the upper chest. And when you're ready on the exhale, forward fold in this bound position. Let the arms lift a little or a lot as you do. Relax the neck. Nice deep full inhale here. Exhale, let the body relax. And then on the inhale, like somebody's pulling on those arms, let's come back to standing. Let them go at the top. Exhale. Inhale the arms up overhead. Exhale, sweep the hands back down by the sides. Take a breath here. I'm liking DJ Soul Rising. Full exhale right here. When you're ready, take the inhale, sweep the arms out to the sides. Let's bring them up overhead. And on the exhale, fold forward. Find that Uttanasana. Come all the way down. Complete exhale. Inhale, halfway up, Ardha Uttanasana. On the exhale, we're going to fold. We're going to bend the knees. We're going to plant the hands. We're going to step the right foot to the back of the mat. Then we're going to drop the right knee. We're going to untuck those toes, just coming towards a lunge here. And we can just keep the hands down on the ground, or if you have those blocks or a water bottle next to you and you'd like to use them, lift the chest. Bring the gaze forward. Let the shoulder blades drip down towards the back pockets. Bring the hip towards the heel. Take an inhale, and with the exhale, start to straighten the left leg as you bring the right hip towards the right heel, keeping the sole of the left foot connected to the ground. Full exhale right here. Then with the breath, inhale, bend the knee, bring the gaze back up. Bring the chest forward. Exhale, bringing the right hip back towards the left heel. Inhale forward. And this time on the exhale, let's come onto the back of that left heel as we come towards Ardha Hanumanasana, your half split. And of course, if you have a full split in your practice and you feel like you're warmed up enough to go there, go for it. If you're in Ardha Uttanasana or wherever you are, make sure that you're moving the hands around to wherever the body is comfortable, using blocks if that is best for you. Just breathe, couple breaths right here. Your breath, your time on the inhale. Let's just start to bend the knee, bring the sole of that foot back down towards the ground. Set the foot down, take the inhale, reach the arms up overhead. The exhale, let the hands float down towards the mat. Let's tuck the toes on the right, lift the right knee off the mat on the inhale. Exhale, step back, downward facing dog. Full exhale right there. Even take an extra breath. With an inhale, we'll lift the right leg, hinging at the hip. The exhale, bring the knee forward, place the foot in between the hand, drop the left knee, untuck those toes, just like we did on the other side. Lift the chest, bring the gaze slightly forward. Bring that hip towards the heel. Really push down through that right foot. Adjust the hands as you feel you might need. Inhale, exhale, start to straighten that right leg. As you bring the left hip towards the left heel, again, trying to keep the sole of the right foot down on the ground. If it pops up, whatever, let it. Inhale there, give yourself the full exhale. Inhale, when you're ready, come forward, bending the knee, kind of coming back to this little lunge. Exhale, we'll straighten that leg again. Your breath, your movements, not my voice. Moving with your breath, linking those breaths and movements in the body, coming forward on the inhale. And this time on the exhale, we'll come onto the back of the right heel as we bring the left hip towards the left heel for Ardha Hanumanasana on this side, half Hanuman. Flex those toes, keep that little bend in the knee if you need to. Adjust the hands, the body, use blocks, whatever you need. Take a couple of breaths right here. Inhaling, exhaling. With an inhale, you can start to bend the knee. Bring the sole of that foot back down towards the ground, sinking that left hip, that's the right hip, towards the right heel. Take the inhale, reach the arms up overhead. With the breath, the exhale, the hands come back down towards the ground. Tuck the toes on the left, lift the left knee off the mat. Inhale, step forward, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, Uttanasana. Inhale, take that reverse swan dive, bringing the arms out to the sides, and bring them up overhead. Exhale, Uttanasana, dive back down, move with your breath. Halfway up on your inhale. Exhale, fold, plant the hands, give a little bend in the knees. This time the left foot steps all the way towards the back of the mat. We're gonna take another lunge, but maybe we can take this one in a high lunge. Feel free to drop the knee if that's best for you. Otherwise, stay on the ball of the foot and the tiptoes of that back foot. Reach down towards the mat with the heel. Of course, it shouldn't touch. Exhale. Reach the hands behind you on an inhale. Hold that to the exhale as you bring the crown of the head forward, and then on the inhale, bring the arms up. Anjani-asana, high lunge. Did you know that Anjani is another word for Hanuman, Ben? Anjani-asana. Exhale as the shoulders drip away from the ears. Nice and strong here. Find that engagement in the pelvic floor. Find that engagement in the lower belly. And find that smooth, balanced, continuous inhale and exhale. Inhale. Exhale as you reach back forward, bringing the hands down towards the ground. Step the right foot back to meet the left. Exhale, downward facing dog. Have you figured out the super secret surprise yet, Ben? Inhale as you lift the left foot. Exhale, that foot comes forward. Place the foot in between the hands and decide if you want a high lunge or a low lunge here. Find the feet nice and strong and stable. Full exhale. Reach the arms back behind you on an inhale. Reach forward with the crown of the head, but on the exhale, hold. Inhale, bring the arms up overhead. Exhale, let the shoulders sink away from the ears. Take a few breaths right here. Inhale. Exhale. Your breath, your inhale, reach the fingers up, bring the gaze up towards the ceiling. Exhale, step forward, back to your mountain pose. Oh, come on, you've had to have figured it out by now. All right, we'll wait till the end. Take a couple breaths here. I'd like to get into our hips a little bit, so we're gonna do a pigeon pose next. If regular pigeon is not your flavor and you want to do pigeon on your back, by all means, just lay down on your back now. The arms get long. Push down through the heels, lift the chest, pull the tailbone down towards the heels. Take your exhale. Inhale, sweep the arms out to the sides, bring them up overhead, and on the exhale, fold forward. Nice and slow, all the way down. Halfway up on your inhale, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, fold, bend the knees, plant the hands, step the feet back to downward facing dog. Exhale, push into the hands, find the fingers nice and wide. Have a blanket nearby if you might need one. We'll take the exhale. The inhale will lift the right leg. Just hinge at the hip. If you'd like to, bend the knee, open up the hips, twisting open towards the side wall. You're ready on twist, straighten that leg back out. And on the exhale, we'll bring the right knee behind the right wrist and the ankle behind the left wrist. And then just start to scoot that back leg back, bringing the legs down towards the mat. Now this is where you might want a blanket, right? Because if you have any space in between the hip and the ground, take a block, take a blanket, something, fill that gap. Steeple up on the fingers. Sit up nice and tall, let the shoulders sink away from the earth. You can stay right here. But if you'd like to, we could take an inhale. And on the exhale, leading with the chest, we can start to come down onto the elbows and the forearms. And then we can just let the head relax. The neck come in, the chin come in towards the chest. Start to feel the body just relaxing. And of course, if it's available for you in your practice and you'd like to go a little bit further here, maybe walk the arms all the way out in front of you. And then fold all the way down, bringing the chest to the floor, forehead to the mat, or onto a block. And then just breathe here. Just in and out through the nose. Now, one thing I'd like to mention here that I forgot to mention earlier is we've got a special discount for the studio here. We have a discount code, Livestream25. If you buy a 10 pass or higher and you enter Livestream25 as the promo code, you get 25% off. Huge. Of course, that'll be studio classes, so once the studio opens, you'll be able to use them. But it's a great way to help support Ben, as is joining Patreon, patreon.com/commonbond. We'll be here for a few more breaths, so just kind of let things go. Maybe you can start to relax some muscles in the shoulders. Maybe you can find a little something in the hip to let go. If you want to go for an advanced posture, maybe start to relax the face, allowing the corners of the mouth to start to curl up towards the ears. That's right. I got you to smile. A few more breaths right here, in and out through the nose. Only the most advanced yogis can do the face thing. All right, if you brought your hands all the way out in front of you, when you're ready to transition out, just take an inhale at first and just bring the elbows back to the ground underneath the shoulders. Let the fingers stay nice and spread out. Reach forward with the crown of the head and hold that through an exhale. And we can walk the hands back towards the body on an inhale. Plant those hands. Lift the chest. Tuck the toes. Take your exhale. Inhale, lift the knee. Push into the hands. Lift that right leg back up towards the ceiling. And on the exhale, let that foot come down towards the ground. Take a couple of breaths right here. And then on the inhale, this time the left leg will lift. And we'll hold this right here for a couple of breaths. So if you'd like to, you could always bend the left knee and just kind of open the hips up. In your time on the inhale, untwist that, straighten the leg again. And then when you're ready, take the exhale, bring the left knee behind the left wrist and the ankle behind the right wrist. And just walk that right leg so it's nice and long. And again, if that left hip's not on the ground, find something to wedge under there. Bring the ground a little bit closer to you. Steeple up on the fingers, take the inhale, let the gaze be right out in front of you. Inhale. Decide if you want to go any further. When you're ready on an exhale, we could fold forward if you'd like to. Just coming onto the elbows and the forearms at first. Really check in with the body here between the right and the left side. Use that witness that we talked about at the beginning just to notice if there's any differences. And let that help you decide how far you want to go. Take your inhale. Full exhale, and if you'd like to, of course, you can certainly walk the arms all the way out in front of you, bringing the forehead and the chest down towards the mat. Just breathe here. Balanced, smooth, continuous inhales and exhales. Allow yourself still to be aware of the sensations that come along with that, with the breath. As you take some breath on this side, if you can find any tension to release, allow that to happen. It's almost like you're chipping away with the inhales and the exhales at any funk that we're holding inside of our bodies, and we've all got funk inside of our bodies right now. If you're so inclined and you'd like to do an advanced posture, relax the face. Let the corners of the mouth reach out towards the ears. Smile. Just you, your breath, your mat, and your practice. This place, right here, right now. And if you have the arms stretched out all the way, let's just start with that inhale, bringing the elbows and the forearms down to the ground. Hi, pig. Night, thank you. That was nice, thanks. Oh, kisses. After a breath or two, just with the elbows and the forearms on the ground, we can just take an inhale and walk the hands back towards the body. That's how I know when I need to start winding down. Pig tells me. She's gonna have to be here when we go back to studio classes. It's the only way I'm gonna be able to keep pace. Right? So let's just start by planting the hands, right? And we want those fingers to be nice and wide. We're gonna tuck the toes, or on the right foot, push into the hands, take the inhale, lift the left leg nice and high, Ekapada, Adho Mukha Svanasana, or three-legged dog, whichever you prefer. Exhale, bring the foot down towards the ground. Downward facing dog. Take the inhale, bring the gaze up by the hands. On the exhale, bring the knees down towards the mat, the hips towards the heels, the chest towards the thighs, the forehead towards the mat, chin into the chest. Balasana, child's pose. Breathe. And then in your time, as you feel ready, let's take an inhale, give it a little tug on those hands, come up and find a tabletop pose. Give yourself just a couple of cat-cows, just a little organic movement here. Listen to what the body is asking for and give that to it. Another inhale, nice deep full inhale, lifting the chest, lifting the tailbone, bringing the gaze forward. Exhale, rounding the back up towards the ceiling. Inhale, find that neutral spine. On the exhale, drop the hips down towards the mat. Swing those legs out in front of you. Come into seated. Did you figure it out yet? We just did an entire vinyasa practice without a single chaturanga. Wow. You are welcome. We're gonna take that inhale, we're gonna reach the arms up overhead, and on the exhale, we're gonna fold forward. Right? There was no back, there was no upward facing dogs, no chaturangas. I like to keep you guessing. It's easy, right, to do those couple things. Like, okay, just do these 3 things that everybody always does. And there's nothing wrong with those 3 things. They're magical. But so is letting go. Speaking of letting go, just give yourself a couple of breaths right here in this forward fold, Paschimottanasana. Take the exhale. Let the breath turn back around, find the inhale. Expansive. Inhale. Filling the entire body. The exhale. Emptiness. When you're ready on the exhale, you can just let the hands come down towards the mat. Let that exhale be full and complete. And on the inhale, just drag those fingers along the mat as you come back up towards seated. Bend the knees. Bring the soles of the feet back down towards the ground. Full exhale right there. Lift the chest. And on the exhale, nice and slowly, start to lower down towards the mat. Bringing the body down. And once the head is on the ground, like lift the shoulders up. Let the body get nice and wide on the mat. Keep the knees bent. Reach down. Try to find the backs of the heels to where you can just barely graze the backs of the heels with the tips of the middle fingers. Let the feet be about hips distance apart. Keep the legs at about hips distance apart, but at the same time, pull the knees towards each other. So they're not going to touch. It's almost like you have a block in between your legs. And then just a couple of tiny little back bends here. Let's take the inhale as we push into the legs, lifting the tailbone off the ground. 1 vertebrae at a time, start to bring the pelvis up and the chest up towards the chin. Setu Bandhasana, bridge pose. When you're ready on the exhale, just lower back down. Nice and slow. And let the tailbone and the pelvis roll down. Full exhale right there. Come up again, inhale, lifting the tailbone, the pelvis. 1 vertebrae at a time. You're like reaching the pelvis for the wall behind you as the chest comes up towards the chin. Keep that engagement in the root and the lower belly as you do so. Exhale all the way down. And then one more time on the inhale. We're going to come up. And we'll hold this one for a couple of breaths. So if you want to take a variation here, like maybe rolling the arms underneath the body and interlacing the fingers. Of course, if you have a deeper back bend in your practice, like Urdhva Dhanurasana or wheel pose, upward facing bow, whatever you want to call it. And you can go there safely. You can go there now. Otherwise, just hang out. Another option would be to take one of your blocks, put it right underneath the sacrum and the tailbone there, and then just let the body rest on it and take this restorative. It's still a back bend. You still get all the energetic effects without the effort. Even if you're lying on that block though, keep that engagement in the root and the lower belly. Keep pushing down through the feet. Keep reaching the chest up towards the chin. Two, 3 more breaths. If you are resting on that block or whatever, take an inhale as you push into the feet, lift the body up off that block, Move the block or whatever you were resting on out of the way, and on the exhale, nice and slow, lower down. Inhale your knees into your chest, hands on the shins, chest. Breathe. So we'll start here with the back of the head on the ground. So take your inhale, fill the lungs up with breath. Exhale, bring the forehead up towards the knee. Roll into like a nice little ball here. Squeeze the air out on the exhale. Inhale as you lower back down. Exhale, forehead towards the knees. Little ball. Upasana. One more. Inhale. Head comes down towards the mat. Exhale. Forehead towards the knee. When you're ready, inhale, let go. Bring the head down, bring the soles of the feet back down towards the ground. Take an inhale here. And one at a time, stretch the legs out down towards the bottom of the mat. And with the attention and the awareness on the legs and the sensation of the legs, take a nice full inhale all the way from the tips of the toes to the top of the pelvis. Exhale with an open mouth and just let the legs relax. Feel the lower part of the body becoming completely relaxed. And then do the same with the upper body. From the top of the pelvis to the top of the collarbones and out to both fingertips, take an inhale. Fill that entire space with breath. And with an open mouth, just feel the upper body completely relaxing as it sinks down, being supported by your mat. And then the head. Take that inhale, maybe even starting to bring all the muscles in towards the nose, making a little face like you just bit into a really, really sour lemon. Open mouth, exhale, let the face relax. And just take a couple of moments here, just for you. Let any control of your breath go, but let the awareness of the breath, sensation, sound, and thought remain. Witness yourself in this place, right here, right now, practicing Shavasana. You can stay where you are as long as you want. But when you're ready, start with small movements. First, maybe even just the thought of movement. The idea that you're about to move your thumb. And then maybe start moving that thumb over the tip of each one of your fingers. Just noticing that sensation where the body touches the body. And then maybe let the fingers start to move a little bit more, fanning the fingers out. Let the toes come into the party with a little wiggle. And then maybe that movement starts to come into your ankles, and your wrists, your elbows and your knees, your hips, your shoulders. Maybe even shaking the head a little bit from right to left, just getting a wiggle in the whole body. The whole body. The whole body. And maybe with the neck and head back at neutral, you can take a long, full inhale, reaching the arms up overhead for the wall behind you as you reach forward with the heels or the toes. Engaging on an inhale. Nice, long, full body stretch. Relax on the exhale. With an inhale, bring the knees up towards the chest, giving yourself a little squeeze. And the exhale, just roll over towards the right side. Taking your time. This is one of the most important places to allow yourself a few breaths after the end of class, or the end of a practice. Then when you're ready on an inhale, you can come up and find a nice, comfortable seated position. Again, sitting up nice and tall in a position that's comfortable for you, letting the crown of the head be over the tailbone. Keep that engagement in the lower belly and the root, and allow the chin to duck down towards the chest. Close the eyes. And if you'd like to, you could bring the hands together at heart center. Anjali Mudra. And just take these next couple of breaths, just to have gratitude for this time that you've given yourself today. Everything that's going on. You took the time out to spend time with your practice, your breath, and your community. As we broaden our sense of here, that community grows and grows and grows. And it is an honor to be a part of it. Thank you all so much for coming today. Hari Om Tat Sat. All right, everybody out there, thanks again so much for coming out. On behalf of myself, Ben, and a dog named Pig, thank you so much for hanging out today. He didn't pay his cute tax. She didn't pay her cute tax too much today. Remember, patreon.com/commonbond, $11 a month. Who knows, maybe by now, Ben's got to jump in the river, and it's cold out. YouTube, Common Bond Yoga. This will be up there streaming. And yeah, just keep an eye on the website. Keep an eye on the Facebook. Ben does all kinds of silly things. It's pretty fun. We've got some other live stuff coming up. And yeah, again, thank you all so much for coming out. Austin will be live 10 o'clock tomorrow. And congratulations to Ben, who's moving into this first house this weekend.
Decided to stack it all up at once.
Heck yeah. Thanks, everybody. Have a beautiful Saturday.